I'm Bea.
And I'm Sam.
And we're two best friends who like to talk shit about smut, wingspan,
And sometimes books.
Join us every Wednesday for a new episode.
We are live
This is our last recording.
in 2024.
Yeah, and until the beginning of Feb.
Yeah.
But right now, which means nothing when it's released, because when you listen to this, you're like, guys, it's like the end of Jan.
It's the 15th of December for us today.
Right now. So this is the longest we have ever gone without recording.
Yep.
Ever.
This is our biggest bulk we've ever done.
You're not going to see me.
Don't, because I need to.
After Saturday, come in,
Yeah.
we have no plans. So what if you don't see me until the 1st of Feb?
I'll be
You're just
knocking
gonna
on
show
your
up at my
door.
house.
Yeah. I know where you live.
I am going to come see you. That's wild, isn't it? Such a big gap.
Yeah.
We're not even taking that big of a gap for season 1 and season 2.
No.
Wowza.
No real updates today. We're all over
Sorry,
the place
guys.
with recording
I know.
because, yeah,
We did
No.
a bit of a bulky wulky.
yeah, no updates with what we're reading, but
No.
we hope that January has treated you well. The
How
first
about-
month of 2025 is done.
How about you just say some things that you would like your hopefuls. Got any hopefuls?
For 2025?
Yeah. And like maybe not things that we know are coming out. Like obviously Onyx Storm, we know you're
Yeah.
going to read that. Maybe anything you can think of, like things that might have already been released that are on the TBR, but you're like, I'm going to try and get to them. So I've got a lot.
I want to do some Stasia Stark. I've never read anything by her.
That's the
Grace.
curse. A Curse So Cruel and Lovely. I've got that. I really want to read that.
Grace, a court so cruel and lovely, isn't it?
Is a curse so cruel? I don't know. Something so cruel and lovely.
But Grace loves Stasia Stark,
does.
and I've never read anything by her. I want to do Phantasma and
Same.
Anathema. Is
Yeah,
it?
it's the prequel, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, maybe it's a sequel. I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely want to do them.
Same.
I want to do City of Gods and Monsters. It's like a white and it's like a black and white cover.
Oh, I don't think I've heard of that.
Oh, if you saw the cover,
okay.
you'd know it.
I really want to do Blood of Hercules because people are
Ooh.
raving about that.
Lynn did if you read this, read this, and she said if you read Crescent City 1 but wanted more, read City of
Ooh.
Gods and Monsters.
I really want 2025 to be the year where I finally read some Cassandra Clare.
Yeah, we've got the Sword Catcher.
I have like so many, probably as many Cassandra Clare books as I have Sarah J. Maas books,
Yeah.
and I've not read a single one.
Yeah.
I really want to read the Trial of the Sun Queen series.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to try and do How Does It Feel, that series over
Yeah.
Christmas. What
They're really fun,
else?
quick reads. They are.
I am going to try and do, they're kind of like the prequels to the Folk of the Year series. Like Tithe and Valiant by Holly Black. I really want to read those.
They would be quick little ones to knock out as well because they're quite short.
Yes. What else do I want to read?
I want to audiobook Lights Out.
Lights Out?
Yeah, have you seen everyone talking about the audio for it?
No.
Apparently it's hot.
No, I've not heard of this.
You'd recognise the cover. Next year I want to do Butcher and the Blackbird.
Oh,
I want to do Light Lark.
I want to do Light Lark as well, the series.
Yeah, I want to do...
I really want to do Akatar graphic audio.
Yes.
It's on me TBR.
I know, I can't look at mine. It's on my phone.
I'll look at yours.
Mine's huge.
You said.
Oh, I want to do more of Nisha Tully's stuff.
I didn't know she had other stuff. I thought she'd
I
only
enjoyed
read
the Sun Queen.
Oh, Filthy Rich Vampires. That's on my...
Yes.
I really want to read that. Sorry, this is... We said we weren't going to talk about things that we've already read, but If Not For My Baby by Kate Golden.
Yes.
The only person I will read contemporary for.
I had for my birthday at the Neon God series.
Looks really good.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Two Twisted Crowns, the One Dark Window duology. Rhapsodic, which is Laura Thalassa, which is who wrote, the Pride, that one, but it's a different series.
Yeah,
but apparently it's really good. Is it like Savage Bonds or something Bonds? And it's like 6 books, and each book is a different man's face, but it's a why choose, and all of them are the MMCs. Broken Bonds, I think is called, or something like that. I've got them on my TV. They look really good. I'm considering, right, this is a shout out to Bookish Realms Pod, who are a Throne of Glass podcast, but they posted about reading, Carissa Weeks, the Witch Walker.
Yes.
And I read the first one and didn't love it, and then I didn't continue the series. But then they posted about it, and they were like, keep reading, because apparently in book 3, it gets like, the smut gets wild.
Ooh.
So I might continue with that series. I really want to do, Ruthless Vows.
Yeah.
That duology. I know it's YA, but people rate, what's it called? Divine Rivals. I really want to do Belladonna, Wisteria, Foxglove.
Yeah. I'll just go through your TBR later and just add all the stuff to mine.
I really need to read Feybound. I've had it for so long and I haven't read it.
You sold it, didn't you?
No, I still got it.
I thought it was on your vintage pile.
No.
Oh.
I only put things on there that I read, I think. Maybe apart from Cinnamon Bun, because I don't remember.
God Killer was on there, wasn't it?
Oh, it was, yeah.
I think that's what I'm thinking of, not Feybound.
Yeah. A Crown This Cold and Heavy, that's Stasia Stark.
Yeah.
Light Lark.
I want to do Stephanie Garber. Once Upon a Broken Heart.
Me too. Let's do that together.
Yeah.
The Fate of the Elf Queen.
Yes.
That one. That sounds so good. The Poppy War. I think it's going to make me cry.
Yeah. 100%.
Legend Born. Blood Orange has been on my TBR for so long. Apparently it's like really spicy vampire. Pristilliance, that Laura Thallister series I really want to read. And High Mountain Court, apparently is phenomenal.
You heard of it?
There's so much.
Yeah.
So much.
I want to do the Harper Woods, The Coven.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ever going to do it.
Oh.
Because Caitlin Dean after.
They're not that big though, are they? I feel like I could just blast through them both.
It's more because there's non-con.
But
maybe we just didn't know that before we maybe it's in the trigger warnings.
Yeah. Anyway,
sorry, that's our hopefuls.
Yeah, we're all over the place. But as we decided when we were recording the Ever Queen,
well, I know we were with LJ as well. When we interviewed LJ,
it was during the Ever Queen that we decided, actually, we could do the Miss Thief.
No, I know, but when we interviewed LJ, basically, even though we were mainly there to talk about the Everseas, we were so obsessed with Miss Thief that we just had to keep asking Miss Thief questions all the time. Yeah,
so it'll come as no surprise that we're here today to talk about the Miss Thief.
Oh, and I love this book.
I ate this up. And for me, Eric and Livia were chef's kiss. Yes, love them. Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't know now. I don't know.
And this isn't this is not in a tea way. LJ Andrews is a phenomenal writer.
Yes.
If anybody's going to do it, it's her. But what I find is a bit different to maybe the Sarah J. Maas, because Throne of Glass is a really big cast.
Yeah.
But they're all in one series, right?
Yeah.
Whereas LJ, basically has a cast bigger than the Throne of Glass cast by far. Mm-hmm. Her cast, I don't think I've ever known. There probably are other authors out there, but for us, we've never read an author with such a big, cast of characters and families and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But how she has written so many couples in this world, because obviously it's romance, but how every single one feels different.
Yeah, they're all unique.
They're all their own personalities. And I've not that I've read all of her stuff, but I've read the first 3. I've never read any of her books and gone, oh, this is
this again.
This again.
Yeah.
No, she honestly, not to say that people don't put effort in, but her, I don't know if imagination is the word, but her creativity to be able to do that.
Her conceptualization,
And I was honestly, right, this is a shame on me. I was a bit skeptical coming into this because I did think there's so many couples now that we've gone through in the Broken Kingdoms Everseas world.
Yeah.
Can we truly have another couple in that's going to feel unique?
The answer is yes. Yes, we can.
Oh my fucking God, is it
because Jonas Eriksson might be my favourite MMC in the Everseas.
You know the thing on the internet, people put in asterisks gnawing at the bars of my cage. That's what I'm like with Jonas Eriksson. I'm feral for him.
So obviously this book is him and Skadi.
Yeah.
Who is our little Miss Thief.
Do you know what, right? I know I'm going to sound really stupid, but I thought he was going to be the mischief. Like, I'd read the Evers.
I was going to say, we learn in the Evergreen.
It just didn't really click.
Yeah. And do you know what I really liked about this series is obviously, this book, sorry, is Jonas and Sander have been given such a lovely, like, moral compass from their parents, like,
yeah,
because like his dad loves his mum rules with his dad. Like, I feel like where Skadi comes from with the elves, women are sort of seen and not heard,
very toxic.
Yeah, whereas Jonas is like, no, you can be yourself here. Like, the fact that he encourages her to like be herself, play with her magic, like speak her mind, speak freely. I'm just like, I'm just honestly chomping at the bit.
Yeah, and how like the elves and like Jonas's mum and dad's court are like really like they're very dark magic. Their magic is could be seen as very like negative.
Yeah, and they're all like vagabonds. They've all been all like thieves.
They're all like scoundrels. Like, but also like when he's talking, this is jumping ahead, but when he's talking to Skadi about like how the laws work in. Is it Clock Glass? Yeah, Clock Glass is what the name of like the home
she calls
is.
it Knock Glass, and somebody's like Clock Glass.
Yeah. And he says like, we might be scoundrels and thieves. We do have some like
because basically like if somebody robs something from you, you're allowed to try and rob it back, and if you were successful in robbing it back, like it's okay. But like, and like they don't, like the royal family doesn't get involved. I can't remember the actual law,
really
but
funny.
it's like if they do something, you can try and do something back. But you only get one chance.
And then like you have like 72 hours to like go
and
do
then
it,
like if you fail, then you live with the shame that you failed, and you like can't like try and do it again. Like it's so funny.
But yeah, like in theory, when you get depictions of like the evil court with the shadows and whatever, and the mind manipulation, all of this. Like usually there might be one like if we're talking Akatar, you've got like the Rhysand who's like not good but morally grey, and actually he's only the way he is because of his previous issues. But like Sander and Jonas don't come. Well, I say they don't come with baggage. Like they're complex characters, but they're not like these. Oh, I've had such. She's not like a Skadi, you know. Like she's the troubled kind of background one. Whereas like they've had such a like positive upbringing. Their mum and dad are so in love. I love them so much.
And the fact that like his mum is like, I can take memories from you, like if you're ever upset, or like I'll take them away, like it's fine. Like his mum is like so doting.
But they're also terrifying.
Oh yeah. And we learn in this book that Jonas still has quite a lot of trauma over Skadi stabbing Sander. But we find out in this book she didn't actually stab him.
No.
Because she misted something away. I can't remember what it was. Like and it made him lose his balance, and he fell onto the sword. So
it was worse than she intended it to be. Like I think she just meant it to be like a nick.
Yeah, but like the way
the
way it happened, like it was a lot worse than it was. So I do a feel for Jonas in this book.
Yeah,
but he falls in love regardless.
He's in love with her from chapter 1.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like he's talking
the wedding, the kiss, the first kiss after their marriage.
Wasn't it so interesting with the crystals on her dress and how it like lights up when your heart is? And and he says like, I knew you would.
Yeah, it's like a fucking beacon for me.
The kiss is he's such
so
a rake,
hot. And then,
I love it.
Then he gets steaming. She has to put him to bed because he's trying to defend her.
Yeah.
And then we learn it's against that fucking prick. I can't remember his name. The one who works along, who like the one who was torturing her. I can't think of his name. Starts with a C.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's a bastard to her, and Jonas goes and saves her.
Yeah. And she has to put him to bed and take his clothes off.
Fucking hilarious.
But he says, like, in like the first meeting they have where they sign the contracts between her granddad and Jonas's parents, or Jonas signs them or whatever, he says, like, every time I look at him, my cock twitches.
Yeah.
And he's so he's so madly in love with her from the get-go. I don't normally, when I say I don't love a he falls first, I don't like it when I still like tension. Like I want a bit of like to-in and fro-in. Like we could definitely say in Akatar that like Rhys falls first.
Oh yeah.
But there's still like a love-hate thing.
Yeah,
I don't love it too much when they're just like, I just gonna be super kind to you and nice to you and
The banter's good between them, though.
Oh,
the banter's hilarious.
My favourite scene in this entire book was when they're in the gardens. You know, when and
he
he's
gets
like
the breakfast cake.
But then he says, like, I'm going to make you come that loud.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, you're not. And they argue. And then she realises that, like,
all his family are watching. Literally, all like the staff.
Like, Sanders there.
Yeah.
I love that scene. I normally don't like a cringy scene because I get such bad secondhand embarrassment. But I thought that was so funny.
My first quote that I've got for this book is, it's Jonas talking.
Yeah.
To Skadi. I do not know what kings are like in your land, but in ours we do not silence our queens. And I think it just like shows like straight off the bat like the parallels between the way she was living.
He's such a green flag.
Oh my god, such a green flag.
I didn't annotate this book, sorry. Sorry, this is really off topic. What I love about LJ's books is she puts art all the way through.
Stop it.
The one at the beginning of this book, you know, when like all fan art I love, right? Like I love everyone's interpretations. But you know when you see a fan art that literally it's like I can't draw, but if I'd have drawn it, that is it. The one at the beginning of the book, that is exactly how I imagine both of them. I'm so obsessed with them.
And I'm also totally and utterly obsessed with Jonas's mum and dad.
I love that he calls her Mally.
I know.
I can't.
I love that he is so bad at surprises that he tries every year. He like plans a heist to find out what she's bought him for his birthday
because he wants to know, and he doesn't.
That is the fucking funniest thing. And he fucking pulls Skadi into it, and Jonas is like, "Oh, I've never been allowed to get involved." Like, oh. It's fucking brilliant.
I know.
And she's like holding the guards in the mist so they can get to the door. Oh.
We talk about before Skadi even arrived at Clockglass that Jonas was having a wing of their home converted into a library for her.
Stop it. And she thinks that her trunks of books didn't make it. And it's because he took them all. And he thinks she doesn't like it. He's like really nervous and he thinks she doesn't like it.
And whenever Sandra, or I can't remember the name of their other friend, is it like Val or like... He's like one of their friends.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name. Whenever they're the ones who are helping him do it. Whenever they have scenes in it where they're like building it and they take the piss, he's like...
He's so defensive.
He's so touchy about it.
So defensive. And he thinks she doesn't like it and he's really like... And then they're banging on the floor in there.
They do bang on the floor in it, yeah.
Also, one of my favourite scenes in this book, I'm going to say this about 10 times over.
But yeah.
When she's sitting in her library reading and his dad comes in and he says, they've given me the post, like why would they give me the post? And she doesn't understand. It's not that he can't read. It must be some sort of like dyslexia.
Yeah, I think that's what's implied.
Like the letters sort of like jumble up on the and she helps him. She reads the names.
And in that scene he says, don't call me Case, call me Daj.
Yeah, no, well he says don't call me that, and she's like, what?
Oh, your highness or something. Yeah.
And then he's like, think of something else, and she says, what about Daj? I've never had anyone to call Daj.
But then she doesn't for a really long time. And then it's only in like one of the final scenes she says like, Daj, I can't.
I know. Absolutely. But yeah, her helping him sort through the post. And then we realise that's why he didn't read the contract with her grandfather. And then we realise that her grandfather's a little fucking scoundrel. And it would only open up for the kings. And
it was hidden.
So I'm quite conflicted about her grandfather. Because
he's an arsehole, I'm sorry.
She's conflicted, isn't she? At the end, she's like, he's given me this lovely life, he's given me you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
killed.
And he made you think you killed them. Like, living with that trauma that you killed your parents, and then turns out, oh no, I killed them, I lied.
Plot twist. And she does say, oh, well, I wouldn't have become royal and I wouldn't have found Jonas. Yeah, okay, but...
that as well, like, that Arion had him in, like, a induced coma, for lack of a better term, and then he's like, oh yeah, well, we'll keep him on the cards in case. And I'm like, he was trying to take your land without your say so, and now you're like, oh yeah, well, maybe an alliance, I'll keep them on the back
burner. Might be a decent suitor for my granddaughter.
And the abuse that we find out about in this book it's really hard to read, actually.
I did not see that coming.
No, me either.
To find out that firstly it was both of them, the guy we can't remember his name of, and Arion.
Yeah.
they kind of were almost like working together on
It's
it.
awful.
And that like she was having sexual relationships with both of them, and that's how they were using that to manipulate her.
I was awful. And she was like, are they going to love me? Oh,
And she felt guilty, like she felt too promiscuous for having relationships with two people. Oh, it was
it's
so
awful.
bad.
It's awful.
But Jonas is like, oh, he's such a green flag. Whereas, like, I know his whole thing is like he's nightmares and but I actually don't think he's that morally grey, Jonas.
No.
Really.
I mean,
he's
other
no
than
Eric.
other than killing that guy whose name we can't remember.
Yeah, but like he does it like
oh my god,
it's
yeah,
justified. Like it was fine. And I know, okay, yeah, he does torture. Like, I'm not saying he's not like a Prince Charming, right?
No,
he's definitely
no.
a bit thing.
But he's not like morally grey.
He's not an Eric Bloodsinger.
No.
He ain't making bone jewelry out of the victims of your enemies.
No, he's building a fucking library. Like, stop it.
And he gets a chandelier made, not the matches clock glass, the matches where she's from.
Lovely.
Nat Haven.
Yeah. And it's the curtains are like Nat Haven blue, and it's so lovely.
The bar's so high.
I've got a quote here. Those flames in her eyes were going to devour me. Part of me hoped they would. He fucking loves her.
They have a big bath in their bedroom. Also, Creasty erected a wall.
I know.
I'm gonna build you a library, but I'll put up a wall.
Yeah.
But he's just respectful because he doesn't expect it to be an actual he's in love with her, but he would have been fine if like they never had consummated. But isn't it interesting? His dad tells him, I think it's like just before the wedding or just after, you are not to take any lovers. And he's like, well, let's see, Dad, because maybe I think he's hopeful that they'll fall in love, but he's like, I'm not going to force it. And his dad's like, no, you made this bed, you're going to lie in it. You are not cheating on that girl. And he's like, well, what if it's mutual? He's like, no, if you're marrying, she's the only one for you.
His dad is such a green flag.
Erickson also setting the bar incredibly high.
How cute is it the first night they share a bed and she gets in his side and he moves her over and then she says that she can't be near the door and he moves her back onto the other side of the bed and sleeps on the opposite side of the bed. My little heart.
It's ridiculous. Also, the scenes where like he gets taken over by his nightmares, you know, he kind of goes into like the coma,
and it's her that,
and she's so scared. She sits by his bedside like for hours and hours, like a day, basically waiting for him to come out of the coma.
So sweet.
But it's not really a bang, but the bath scene is 10-10.
Oh my god, when she says, I think I'd like
it and she's in it.
I think I'd like you to kiss me. Oh. And after he's fingered her, he makes her stand up before taking his hands out because he doesn't want her to be washed off his fingers.
I forgot. I was like, fleece off a minute. I forgot about that.
That is hot.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, he's pretty freaky. Not like freaky, but like a little bit freaky.
Yeah. I've got a lovely quote from him, like, as if he wasn't a green flag enough.
Yeah.
I'm in love with you. Jonas pressed his forehead to mine. I do not hold you on the surface of my heart. You are in the deepest pieces where I keep my worst fears. To lose you would mean facing pain so wretched, it would destroy me. I would not survive it. Even if I was still breathing, I would no longer be me, and instead would become a cruel, violent, hopeless shell of the man I was. Like, we need declarations of love like this from our husbands, please.
Elsie Andrews, the men she writes.
Yeah.
The bar
honestly,
is far too high.
Yeah, ridiculously high, actually.
Yeah, and they're like big 6 foot plus Vikings. Isn't it funny that he says Alva blood smells?
Yeah, it smells like piss.
I was reading it at the end scene when they're in Nat Haven. He's like, "Well, mix some piss in here because there's so much Alva blood everywhere." I
found the quote of when his brother and his friend are ribbing him about the library and he starts to get really self-conscious about it. Gods, I ought to have thought of something more tangible. Bloodsinger gives Liv jewellery. Daj gives Maj notes. I slumped in a chair, tossing the book back into the pile. My gift is a mountain of fables.
Oh no, she loves it so much.
I know, he's really scared though that she's not going to like it.
I love how nervous he is. Also, this is such a chaotic episode. I was just thinking about the Alva thing because I was like, does his mum and dad's blood smell like piss? But it's actually his mum who's the Alva, not his dad. Like, she's the queen and he married the queen, not the other way around. Sorry, I'm just thinking about piss blood. I don't know why I keep thinking about piss blood. Sorry, it's really taken me. He's the consort,
Yeah,
not
love
the other
that.
way. Yeah, I love that. So she's the queen.
Yeah, go
Love
on,
it.
Mally.
Yeah.
Gods, I hated him. He was one of the most entrancing men I'd ever seen.
Oh, she's also madly in love with him from the get-go.
I think in the beginning she thinks it's like lust. Like she thinks she's just like lusting after him because he's hot.
And I think she thinks that the reciprocation she's seeing from him is only because he's trying to like seduce her so that she stays.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't think that he wants her for her. She thinks that he wants her for the political benefits. Like she doesn't want to let herself fall in love again because she's done it before and she just gets hurt. Because people only ever want her for what she can give them, not her.
This is the thing. She's been used all her life.
Yeah, for like her power and her political gain. Really sad.
Yeah. Also really funny because like in the beginning obviously they don't really like each other, like they're tolerating each other, and to piss her off he ruins the ending of her book.
Also, Krista, doesn't she get drunk and goes with his friend into like the town?
Yeah.
And he's like dancing on the tables and seducing all the men. Oh my God, when he shows up, I was like kicking my feet.
And he
like
carries her home, but then she's really scared that she's like shamed the family. And she's like, if you want me to leave, like she's talking to his mum and she's like, if you want me to leave, I'll leave. And his mum's like pissing herself at her, like, haha, look at your hangover.
Yeah. Doesn't she bring us stuff to like take?
And she said it's disgusting, but like, it'll make you feel better.
And she says, like, if you think being drunk and a fool is like the worst you can do.
Yeah,
then...
she's like, if you think none of my boys have been carried home after a drunken night out. Like,
yeah, it's so cute. When he shows up at that tavern, he's so angry.
So fucking angry. But it's because she saw him with that maid and she thinks that he's like sleeping with somebody else.
She's a right little skank,
she's
isn't she?
cunt.
Oh, me and her were going to have words. And even when he says, because he does say, fair enough, I can understand why she would try, because I have been known as being a bit of a lad.
Yeah.
And I have basically shagged everyone else here at one point or another.
But I'm saying no.
And their perception is that like he's only doing this for political gain. So maybe he is looking for someone.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, but thanks, but no thanks. And then she's like, yeah, but...
And like,
he's like,
hand on his belt.
Oh, not okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I was furious.
But obviously... Skadi doesn't see the whole interaction, so she just sees part of it, goes mental, goes and gets drunk.
But she's like really flirting with that guy, but then Sandler gets him on his knees and puts his nightmares into his... Oh, it's so hot.
So fucking hot.
Yeah.
The twins, honestly, literally.
Even though this whole book is about Jonas Eriksson, I'm a Sander girly.
I think I'm a Sander girly too.
The next, I think, and when LJ said he was going to be a freak.
But his book's not next, is it? It's Tate and Mira next.
But that's like almost out.
Yes.
So like I think Sanders is probably going to come.
Yeah.
I think she's probably writing Sanders.
Yeah, and she said that Sanders going to be the freakiest.
I wonder who it'll be. Probably not anyone we know, I assume.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe
I don't feel like there's been any indication of who would come next.
Maybe now that Nat Haven is so close to the elves, maybe somebody on that Haven, maybe.
Oh.
Anyway.
What if here's a theory, this is such a rogue theory, but I'm just going to put it out there. Do you remember, you know the guy she was going to marry, you said his name? Arion. His dad was married, but to like Skadi says his wife was like the same age as her and no one ever saw her and he kept her in a castle. What if it's like her?
Oh, I'd love that.
Sorry, just that was a complete and utter big theory.
I was going to say, what if it was Skadi's maid?
Nah, I think she's old.
Oh, is she?
I just see her as old. She's a bitch anyway.
Yeah. Can we talk about what we think is just the fucking most hilarious thing to happen in this book? The final battle. Like when it's all said and done, Jonas is like strolling down the hallway. His mum and dad coming out of a room, his dad's buckling his belt up, and he's like, could you not have fucking waited 5 minutes?
Literally.
And they're like, oh, the tension of war, you don't know
just gotta get it out.
Yeah, you don't know whether you're gonna lose someone.
I love that he says like, I don't cringe at seeing my mum and dad like neck each other anymore because I'm so like immune to it because that's all they do. Like that I love like that. That's what I want. Like,
because what does she buy him for his birthday? Is it like a little figurine of like a horse or what does she buy him?
For Jonas's birthday?
No, what does the mother buy the father?
Oh, it's like it's a stuffed horse from like his childhood. I think it was, if we read those books, I think she gets it like restored or like finds it, but it's like relevant in those
and he
books.
literally like drags her out the hall. He's
Yeah.
like, right, come on over my shoulder, like
Yeah.
slaps her ass and carries her
so
out.
funny.
And I'm like, yeah,
They're so funny. Yeah,
oh,
I love them.
so funny.
I love that, like, because we've not read their books
Yeah.
in the Broken Kingdom series, but I love how much characterization you get from them even in this book. Like, we didn't know them, but this is a
Yeah.
standalone book,
Yeah.
and you get that much characterization. And obviously, for people that have read the books, I can imagine it's just like adds to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is why she's so talented.
Nice little bit of foreshadowing here
Go
from
on.
her. Mira heaved a sigh. My greatest failure, where I have befriended the wicked Ever-King. Alas, his cousin is as hardened as stone. I fear I may be forced to concede. And now we're like, that's like next book. Ugh. I'm so excited for Mira and Tate because she's fuming that he doesn't like her.
She hates it.
She's like, everybody likes me.
She's so deluded. I love it.
I know. It's me. That's
me too. Like, everyone loves us.
like,
Why
what?
don't you?
What do you mean?
What do you don't like us? Only me cannot like me.
Yeah.
Everyone else loves me. Yeah, I know. She's
yeah,
so deluded. I love it.
But like I'm just so fucking excited now for
When
that
I
next
first
book.
read, like, because obviously in the Ever-King is when you first get this new family of
Yeah.
cousins or whatever.
Mhm.
I was really worried that they were all gonna like not that there's anything wrong with that, but like,
Yeah.
I thought that someone would end up with Mira, like either Jonas or
Yeah,
Sandra
yeah.
or someone. But I like that everybody's like,
Yeah.
I like that they've been able to have like a found family relationship and it doesn't end up in romance. Does that make sense? Like,
she said it's going to be 6 books. So we had 3 already. Book 4 is obviously Mira and Tate. Then we're definitely having a Sander book because she confirmed.
and then Alexi,
So Alexi, do you think?
Yeah, he's got to be. Surely she's going to cover off all the.
Well, I was thinking, what about Celine Tidecaller? Who does she strike up a bit of a thing with, Celine? Like one of the crew.
Oh, maybe
likes her, don't they?
Doesn't I don't know though. Didn't she say in our interview that Alexi's dads are gonna get a book just of their own? Sol and Tor. I'm sure she says, like, because she says they're such fan favourites.
Yeah.
She's like, I've got to give Sol and Tor their own.
So are they not in the original 9?
Yeah, but yes, they are. But I can't like.
So there's 3 sets of 3 books. One is Livia's parents. One is the twins' parents, Jonas.
Mason's,
yeah. And then one is Alexi's dads. No,
it's Mira. It's Mira's mum and dad. It's the final 3.
Right. Okay. Sorry.
Alexi's dad is Varen, Livia's brother, his older brother. So Olivia and Alexi are first cousins.
Olivia's brother's younger than her.
Sorry, Olivia's dad's brother.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So Varen, Olivia's dad.
Yeah.
His older brother is one of Alexi's dads, Sol.
So they're proper cousins.
Yeah, Alexi's technically adopted, but they're full cousins. His dad's relationship plays out in Livia's mum and dad's 3 books, but they're like side characters.
Right, okay.
I can't tell you anymore because it spoils it for you.
But that's what I'm reading right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
The first 3 books are.
You will find out how his dad's.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
So, Sol is.
Maybe by the time this episode comes out, I'll have read all 9.
Sol is Varen's oldest brother.
Right.
Technically heir to the throne.
Right.
And Tor is Varen's best friend.
Ooh.
But it isn't what you think. I know what you're going to think, but it isn't what you think. The story is wild.
Okay. I just love this book. I will eat up whatever LJ produces at this point. Yeah, literally, like, give me everything.
Give me a bit of gone off steak. Thank you. I'll eat it. I love it.
It's like Cassian's stale biscuit.
I'll take anything. I do. Maybe in that 6 she was just referring. I think maybe she was just talking about the Evers. And obviously Tor and Sol don't come in. They're not Evers, they're the Broken Kingdom. So yeah, I feel like Alexi's got to be he's got to, if you think there's 6 like cousins and she's doing.
No, because Livia got 2 books.
Yeah, but all of them have had a book.
Yeah.
I would like to think the 6 is going to be Alexi.
Yeah.
Unless Sanders is 2.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe
unless Celine is Alexi's. Because then that covers them both off.
What if Alexi isn't straight? Maybe he's gay too.
Yeah, maybe. Lots to think about. Sorry, I'm just pondering.
It's such a big cast of characters. It could literally slot like wherever.
Yeah.
What if it's Gavin Tyco? What if it's Gavin thingy? Because we said
Celine's
in our Ever King
brother.
and Ever Queen episode that like the tension between him and Olivia.
When he comes out of the bathroom,
I thought they were gonna bang.
yeah, I was like,
Eric,
is this a white juice?
Yeah. So what if it's him and Alexi? Why are we writing fan fiction? Why are we writing LJ Andrews fan
Hi,
fiction?
LJ. Just an idea for you.
Just a few points we wanted to spitball with you. We're happy to be co-authors on the next book, but like, what about?
She's going to be like, girls, I've plotted everything.
Alexi
Like, I'm
bangs 12 different characters. Maybe this one, maybe Gavin, maybe Celine, maybe both of them.
Alexi in a white shoes.
Yeah. Here's all your currently single characters. Boom, 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 boom.
She's going to be like, cheers, girls.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
as if I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Like, sorry, I'm
Like,
good,
I plotted 9 books and then gave them all children,
she
but
probably
now
like,
I need your help.
There's like 15 already written, just waiting to be released. Like, all right, thanks. I think I'll manage on the material front for a little while.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe she doesn't need our help.
But the story so the next story is going to be Mira and Tate.
Yeah.
And they're like
LJ's
lost at sea.
LJ said in our interview, if you listened last week, that there is a scene where like when they get so angry, like, I just need to kiss you.
Yeah. I love those types of scenes. But yeah, they get lost at sea.
And he's Eric Bloodsinger's cousin, but he smokes. I can't even begin
Why
to tell
is
you.
that relevant?
I'm just saying, isn't that so hot?
It's always
what
like she literally opens her mouth and he's like quickly pulling out his fangs.
Because he's so
like,
stressed. But he's not going to have them if they're shipwrecked.
Yeah.
Just imagine what would make Eric Bloodsinger hotter smoking. I mean, we don't condone it, I just want to say, but like, it's a hot trope.
Yeah.
Nose rings and smoking. Tick, tick. Sorry, we're off tangent on the next book, but back to Miss Thief. What did you give it? 4 stars? Or did you give it 5? I think I gave it 4. Or did I give it 5? No, I think I gave it 5. It was in my top reads of the year.
It was 5 stars. Yeah, it was high.
I really, and this is again no tea, no hate, but like, you know, when we picked it up,
yeah.
When I say I've been putting it off, I haven't been putting it off, but it was just one of those books I was like, because it came out quite quickly after I read The Ever Queen. It was only like a few months.
Yeah.
And I remember it coming out and I just like, yeah, I will get to it. We'll get to it. And I just was like, oh, you know.
Do you know what I think it was? And this is no hate to LJ, but I was like, it's not Olivia and Eric, so I don't give a fuck. Yeah, me too.
I agree. No, same. Honestly, same.
And now I'm like kicking myself because
why didn't I read it sooner?
Like I want to read that every month for the rest of my life.
I really didn't. And not that I ever expected books to not be good. It isn't that.
Yeah.
But it is just that shift in character.
Yeah,
so I was
like different people's POVs. Like I was just like, I want Olivia.
Well, I always intended to read it. I never not read it, but it just wasn't right at the top of the TBR. And then after we finished it, I was like, why didn't I fucking read this? And obviously it was one of my top 7 of the year. So
yeah, but I think we get a nice amount of Olivia and Eric in this book.
I just love how fucking miserable he is.
Oh, I know. It's funny seeing him from somebody else's POV.
When he shows up, when his ship comes out of the water, I was like,
out the water.
Like a page when he said like the tip, like his ship came up and you could see the blacks. I was like, that was me.
Yeah, it was
Eric.
Hot.
Yeah, it was so hot.
And like, his mum and dad go into war for Skadi as well. Like,
they love it though, didn't they? They love a bit of bloodshed. They were like gunning for it. Just give us a reason to slice up these elves.
Oh God, it was just wonderful.
It was such a delight.
And then the ending I thought was really nice. That they bring Nat Haven.
Yeah, she's so clever because she gives herself like so much more room for. Yeah, one of the questions I asked her was like, it's like when you play a video game and you unlock a new area, like, but it doesn't ever feel like, oh, she's just tagged this on as an afterthought.
No.
Like the way she writes the world is, it feels like she's not. I'm saying she doesn't, but like she's thought about everything. Yeah, and she's just working her way through. But she did say within some reason, like, the Everseas came after the fact. Yeah, but it doesn't feel like it's just been plonked on. No, she's such a talented author. Honestly,
she's so talented, like ridiculously talented,
unreal. And the fact that I know this is off topic, but her new series that's coming out, which I think is coming out really soon, like maybe in January, is trad published.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for her.
And honestly, yeah, like snaps.
We love you, LJ.
Yeah. Her writing is just so enjoyable.
She's an author that like you could just pick up any book and just it's so readable. I love her.
Like her like battle scenes make me tense. Her smut scenes make me giggle, like make me swing my feet. Her banter between characters like genuinely makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Like she like hits it all in the right way. Like just like I'm here for it.
Tick.
Yeah, nothing feels forced. Nothing feels like, why have you put that there? Like every scene is intentional, and I fucking love it.
But then does put a little bit of fluff in.
Yeah,
but like lovely fluff.
Yeah,
like not in a like
the library. Like wasn't integral to the story. The whole plot could have happened anyway, but I needed that library.
Yeah,
like I needed all of that.
Just give your characters a bit more like realitability. That's not a word.
No, it's not. But I know what you mean. What I mean. Yeah, and the fact that like he's nervous, like because like. Otherwise, we're just like, oh, he's a Riz King, like he's charming.
A big tattooed 6 foot Viking.
I'm like, oh, he's charming, he's Riz King. But then when you get those scenes where he's really, nervous about it, I'm like, oh my god, I fucking love you so much.
Because he says that's why I've never fell in love before, because I know when I love, I'm loving.
I've got a lovely quote.
He couldn't let himself, with all the other women that he'd bedded, he couldn't let himself like get connected because he just loves too hard.
Yeah, my quote is Skadi talking to Jonas. Why did you never love Jonas? My words were breathless, hardly there, as I stroked his velvet skin, because I was waiting for you, Fire.
Oh.
And also, this is Jonas's dad talking. In that moment, when she is the only one you want standing with you against a foe, that is when you will know you've fallen in love with your wife.
Absolutely.
Stunning. Stop it. Oh, I loved this book. This, honestly, was very close to being my read of the year.
That's a big, big shout.
I just enjoyed it all. Like the banter, like the slow burn, the tension, her coming into herself and like using her magic and not being terrified, and other people not being scared of her magic, like, and her realising it's not all that bad. Yeah. Well, I cried. I text you, like, I'm crying, and it's not even sad. I'm just so happy for her.
If, this is a hot take, right? If Ever King and Ever Queen had been one book, and this was one book, I think this would rate higher for me. I agree. And I'm not, but I think, just because we have like 2 books with Eric and Livy, we get just more enjoyable scenes. And I still love them. At the moment, they're on a par. But I did not expect to love this as much as I loved the Everseas. But I think not the only reason, but like they are on a par for me. Yeah. But I do wonder, the Everseas being one book, would I actually rate this a little higher?
Well, when obviously we've been thinking about our reads of the year for a while now, and I'd like made a rough list like weeks ago, and the Ever Queen was in my rough list, and then when I read Miss Thief, I swapped. I took Ever Queen out and put Miss Thief in.
Well, I'd written my top 7 because when we went to the Cali Heart signing in the beginning of December, or end of November, whenever it was.
Yeah, end of November.
I'd written my top 7 already, kind of roughly, and obviously I hadn't even read the Miss Thief at that point. I think everything else I'd read, nothing else got added on, and I can't remember what I switched out. I don't remember, but I was like, as soon as I finished it, I was like, that has to go on my read of the year. And I read the Ever King and Ever Queen in 2024 as well. Yeah, and it wasn't on my top 7 at that point, but I probably could have told you midway through the year I thought it would be. Yeah, but then I read Miss Thief and I was like, nah, that's
blown it out the water. Yeah. Blown it out the water.
So,
we don't know what's next.
No.
We have no plan.
As of time of recording, we have now recorded everything. So we've now, what's coming out on Wednesday in the world of right now?
Akatar
not in the
Crack Ship.
Yeah, so as of right now, we've recorded from Akatar Crack Ship, which was like the middle of December, all the way up until this episode, which is the end of Jan.
Yep.
And technically what's coming out next week, which is the first Wednesday of Feb, we don't actually know. We will have an author spotlight coming out on Monday, which is A Trial of Fate by J.E. Larson, which is my read. So that we know because our author spotlights have been planned up till April. But next week's main channel episode, as of right now, guys, we don't know what it is.
Yeah. We'll have a
But we did
post-Christmas
think maybe
business
it's going to be
meeting.
Onyx Storm.
Yeah, depending how quickly we can read it.
When does it come out? Like the 20... I want to say it's the 28th, but maybe 23rd? I don't know.
21st of Jan.
Oh, we'll have to have a think.
Yeah. You won't go without, guys. Like
No, there'll be something, but we just don't know.
Don't know what yet.
Maybe we start Alyssa Lonergan series. Because we say we're going to do that before the end of season 1. We've only got there in a few weeks, haven't we? So maybe we do have to start Alyssa. I think timing-wise, we'd have to get it in before the end of Feb. I don't think we'd have enough time otherwise, would we?
See when... Because obviously I'm guessing you're not going to get much reading done while you're writing. That's like 2 weeks out of reading.
Yeah, I'd have to read 4 books, wouldn't I?
We'll see. Well, feels weird that we're about to stop recording.
Like a month and a half now.
For the last, we only started this year, and now we're going to stop recording. This is our final recording of 2024.
I'm really scared when we sit down to record the next episode that, like, what if I didn't finish writing?
Things happen. If you didn't finish writing, you didn't finish writing. You'll have got something done. You're not going to do nothing in 2 weeks. So
I'm not, but I'm just scared.
Okay, Merry Christmas. Bye.
It's not Christmas.
Thanks so much for listening.
Follow us on TikTok and Instagram at A Pod of Smut and Wingspan.
See you next week.
Bye.